What's up everybody, it's TC Toxic Scarecrow and I just finished watching the Tipster stream on the Skydoseminecraft allegations and DJ Killer Keemstar's ridiculous response during the stream. I'm going to start this video by saying that there's a lot of Keemstar fans out there that probably won't like what I'm going to have to say, and there's probably a lot of people out there that are going to like what I'm going to have to say because it's about Keemstar. But I want to address Tipster first. I understand Keemstar is your friend and he's helped you out in the past, and because of your friendship it might be difficult for you to come out and criticise him. I've been a subscriber of yours for a while, and the reason I've always enjoyed your content is you always try to draw things down the middle. You always try to be fair to both parties. When something is fact, you state it's fact. If it's not, you make sure to inform everyone it's either unconfirmed or allegations. You always police your chat really well. Like the time you kicked the guy out that threatened to dox June the King in the LTG response video. But back to the topic, I've always respected and admired the way you conduct yourself on your channel, Tipster, but there are a couple of occasions when I think you really should have stepped in with what some of Keemstar said. Now, Keemstar doesn't come in till maybe halfway through end of the video, and I just want to address what Keemstar said. Starting off, Keemstar almost immediately starts by calling Adam, Skydoseminecraft, a victim in the past. He states he's not trying to make Adam a victim, but states he is a victim prior to these events. My first thought was, okay, let's see where he's going with this. Keemstar begins to talk about the success Adam had as a YouTuber, and Keemstar is right. No matter what allegations have came out about Adam or Skydoseminecraft, you can't take away that he was a huge creator on the platform. Millions of subscribers, made tons of money, started his own company. You can't take any of that away from him. Keemstar then goes on to talk about how business people and friends were getting huge sums of money from Adam, Skydoseminecraft, but unfortunately his company shut down after a couple of years due to going through too much money because of how much he was paying to friends, business partners, etc. Adam did come back to YouTube for a small while as Net Nobody and tried to start his music career. Keemstar explains that one time when he went to stay with Adam around 2018, Adam owned one mansion and rented another one. Keemstar there was said there was at least maybe 30 other people staying there, and how basically they were just leeching and freeloading off of Adam. Keemstar explains that he spoke to other people trying to get through to Adam about this situation and how it's going to cause him to go broke, and Adam didn't want to hear it. And we've all been there. There's all been a time where somebody's come up to us and said something and we're like, I just don't want to hear it, it's not going to happen to me. But Keemstar was right, and Adam ran out of money, and how some of this was the foundation of things to come. Keemstar talks about Adam, Skydoseminecraft, drug problem, including the time they did shrooms. And Keemstar freely admits that he's done shrooms before, but then immediately says he doesn't think shrooms are dangerous, and how they have never been dangerous to him. 5 minutes on Google, go to the official Frank website, and they have an entire section on how shrooms are dangerous and the side effects that they can cause. So Keemstar, just because you haven't had a dangerous or bad experience with them doesn't mean they're not dangerous. Keemstar continues talking about Adam's drug use and his mental state, and how Adam's freeloading friends left him behind when Adam started to have mental health problems. And that's why prior to this situation with Elizabeth, the girl who has made some of these allegations against Adam, Skydoseminecraft, and that's why Adam's a victim. Okay, my response to that is, what does any of that have to do with what's going on with Elizabeth? Keemstar then brings up Adam's former manager, who Keemstar said somehow got hold of his number and would send him updates on Adam's condition, only to then immediately say he thought there was something off about the manager. Keemstar says this manager got Adam arrested several times, only to correct himself and say he didn't actually get Adam arrested in the traditional sense. He got him sent to the hospital. I think it's called having somebody committed or institutionalized, but don't take my word for that. Keemstar brings up how Adam had some better times back in 2020, 2021, and that he had got on prescription medication and was back to making his Minecraft videos. Keemstar brings up Adam's financial problems again, and how Adam asked to borrow money off Keemstar, about 5 grand. Keemstar does say that Adam paid him back eventually, but eventually Adam went dark again. But a little while later, contacted Keemstar again to borrow more money. And I'll say, fair play to Keemstar, he was going to give him the money. The only reason Keemstar didn't do it is because Elizabeth, again the same person who has made some of these allegations against Adam, asked him not to because he would only spend it on drugs. So Keemstar didn't give him the money. And I know some people will probably say, oh, but he's your friend, you should have given him the money regardless. No, I may not like Keemstar, but he did do the right thing there. If Adam was going to go and use that money for something like drugs, what Keemstar did by not giving him the money was the right thing to do. My main issue during Keemstar with the stream is one Unstoppable, another content creator who was sitting in on the stream with Tipster and Tomato Man, spoke up and rightfully asked Keemstar a question. What does any of this stuff have to do with the current situation? Keemstar immediately says, because this is chapter 1 of chapter 3, you retard. Keemstar, why did you call him a retard for asking a perfectly legitimate question? When Unstoppable tries to explain to Keemstar that a lot of people already know this information, Keemstar, and I'm not joking, immediately starts shouting, put a 1 in the chat if you don't know, 1 in the chat. And when Unstoppable tries telling Keemstar that what happened in the past doesn't necessarily dictate the actions in somebody's future, all Keemstar does is shout over Unstoppable, 1 in the chat, 1 in the chat. Keem, seriously, why couldn't you just answer the question? It wasn't a difficult question. When Unstoppable then tries to explain to Keemstar that what happened in someone's past doesn't define what they do in later life, Keemstar starts shouting at Unstoppable that we should talk about how things in the past have led to this moment. Okay, then please, Keemstar, again, explain why any of this is relevant to the current situation. Adam's past is, well, shall we say, divisive. He's had ups, he's had downs. But all we're asking is why any of this is legitimately connected to the current situation and these allegations. And again, Unstoppable civilly and calmly asks him, what does any of this have to do? Eventually, Tomato Man speaks up, telling Keemstar that if you want to be fair and talk about Adam's past, we should bring up everything in Adam's past. And all Keemstar says in response is, read the room, people, let's read the room. Okay, let's read the room. You're saying that people might not know his past, that's why they've put 1s in the chat. So for clarity, shouldn't you explain to the audience everything in Adam's past so they have a complete view and can make their own judgments with a full picture? Keemstar then says, no, we're starting from my experience. Okay, so you're basically saying that your experience is relevant to the story, but nobody else's is. Now this is where my first issue with Tipster comes in. Tipster then speaks up defending Keemstar, saying Keemstar is just about to get to the point where all this will tie together. And Tipster, why didn't you try to calm Keem down? Just get him to listen to Unstoppable's legitimate question and answer it. I don't understand why you just sat there and didn't say anything. Like I said, I understand Keemstar's your friend and you might not want to say anything on stream, but you've got to admit, he didn't need to react the way he did. Oh, and for future reference, Keemstar never does explain how any of this is relevant to the current situation with Elizabeth. But Keemstar just can't let it go. When Unstoppable tells Keemstar to continue with the history lesson, Keemstar replies that oh, Tipster said something, so he's going to listen to Tipster. So, Keem, nobody's view is relevant but Tipster's. And I'm not saying Tipster's view is not relevant, because like I say, he does a damn good job at what he does. But other people's views and opinions are relevant as well. Unstoppable then tells Keemstar he doesn't want to argue. And Keemstar calls him a fucking idiot because he's wrong. Again, how is he wrong, Keemstar? Please explain to us how Unstoppable asking a legitimately civil question is wrong. Keemstar then responds by saying, it's all relevant. Okay, again, if it's all relevant, why won't you explain to the people everything in Adam's past? He then continues to insult Impossible by calling him a motherfucker and how he doesn't want to give people context. But you won't let people give context. People like Tomato Man wanted to give context. And you flat out said that we're doing this from your experience. So you're saying that people need to give context, but you won't allow them to give context. Keemstar then tries to accuse Impossible or others of saying that he's trying to make excuses for Adam. Of course, Unstoppable, Tipster, Tomato Man doesn't say that that's what he's doing at all. The only reason Keemstar did this is to stick up for his friend. And personally, that's my own personal opinion. He brought up Adam's past, he brought up his interactions with Adam, and tried to connect the two. But, carrying on, in credit to Tipster, he manages to get everyone back on track, and they later discuss responses from Adam's known associates. But then Keemstar chimes in again. Tomato Man is explaining to Tipster who one of the people who responded on Twitter is, and how they had a previous situation with Adam being homophobic against him after this person came out as homosexual. And a case of another worker who had worked close with Adam. Before Tomato Man even has a chance to finish explaining who these people are to Tipster, Keemstar pipes up saying, oh, this is just perfect. People who was leeching off Adam and how all of a sudden they want to come out and say something and how he doesn't like it. Well, guess what, Keemstar? You don't get to decide who talks and who doesn't. Just because you don't like what they have to say doesn't mean they don't have valid information to share. And when someone tweets that Adam is a scumbag, Keemstar, doesn't mean he wasn't a scumbag. Just because he wasn't a scumbag to you doesn't mean he wasn't a scumbag to other people. Even towards the end of the stream, when Keemstar finally admits that maybe there are some things that he didn't know, he doesn't take back any of his previous statements against Impossible, doesn't apologise for calling him a retard, doesn't apologise for making fun of the way he speaks, doesn't apologise for his harsh reaction, nothing. Even when Tomato Man helps Tipster see an old video of Adam's, Skydoseminecraft again, that Tomato Man originally wanted to use as a counter to Keemstar's previous argument with Impossible about discussing Adam's past, it's a video that has Adam himself confessing that he paid off an old girlfriend for some, let's say, dodgy behaviour. Keemstar still says nothing. During this entire video, Keemstar never addresses any of the points Impossible brings up. He never tries to explain how any of his points are relevant to the current situation. He never condemns Adam for accusations. And Keemstar has admitted that even with everything, Adam is still his friend, and you might not want to throw accusations out against your friend. But even the accusations that have good evidence, such as police documents, Keemstar still doesn't say anything. Keemstar throws a fit during the stream. Like I said, he thought people were trying to accuse him of making excuses for Adam. And the others on the stream might not say it, but yes, that's what you were doing. Whether you like it or not, Keemstar, you were trying to make excuses for Adam. You never explained how any of his past was relevant. you brought up a sob story of all this bad stuff that had happened to Adam and how it could have led to the situation now with Elizabeth. That is literally making an excuse for somebody. But to be honest, I'll let you make up your own decisions. If you want to see the full stream, go to Tipster's channel. Like I said at the beginning, Tipster, I don't want to get off on the wrong foot with you. Like I said, I've got a lot of respect for you as a creator, and I know Keemstar is your friend, but personally, this pissed me off.